Golf has become an recreational skill and is now being taught in most comprehensive physical education programs. The game has come a long way since the time when only the privileged played. Each year, more and more courses are planned and built to accommodate the growing number of golfing enthusiasts. If you have tried the game yourself, or if you're teaching others to play, you know the golfers too have come a long way before accomplishing the kind of success these players are showing. A sound, efficient golf swing is a pleasure to watch, and even more pleasing to experience. Today, a foursome such as these young golfers is a familiar sight. Group instruction and available facilities have helped to make this possible. Not so familiar is the level of skill these golfers have attained. This golfer is well along the way toward the mastery of swing perfection. She demonstrates clearly the necessary techniques of balance, rhythm, and relaxation. Students as this one, in a beginning golf class, often need help to learn efficient technique. As prospective golf teachers, these are your students, each with her own swing and sometimes her own error. The golfer in the center has shown clearly her dissatisfaction with her own hit. The job before you is to correct her error and others like it, and there are others like it. Although each swing and each student has individuality to be accepted, there are common errors that occur from class to class and year to year. To be able to recognize these errors that are common is one of the first steps that can be taken to improve your teaching. This teacher has already presented the basic swing and is now doing some of the individual coaching necessary to good teaching. To be able to give some help to each golfer, she must share her time and attention with all members of the class. Time is limited and too much detail is confusing to the student. Therefore, the teacher must be selective in her coaching hints. She must find an error in each case that, if corrected, would help the student most to gain satisfaction through success. It is the purpose of this film to present examples of some of the common errors of beginning golfers. Before the error demonstrations are shown, however, let's view in detail a correct swing in slow motion, and then at a speed just slightly slower than the natural swing. This is the golfer who made the approach shot earlier. Her swing shows relaxation, yet power, efficiency of action. Remember the movements of this swing so that the errors you see later can be recognized as deviations from them. Notice that her left arm remains fairly straight through the backswing, and she maintains the slight bend at the back and in the knees throughout the swing. Her body turns on the backswing and downswing, and the foot and knee action show her transfer of body weight into the hit. As a teacher in a class situation, this viewpoint and the previous one will probably be best and safest for you to use as you study the swings of your students. From here, you can see that the swing path is straight back and straight through. Her right elbow at the top of the swing points down, and her right arm is close to the body through the downswing. She is utilizing all her sources of power for a distance hit, yet her swing is balanced, rhythmic, and relaxed. To see this error clearly, imagine a line from the golfer's head to the ball as she takes her address. Notice the lateral deviation of both her head and hips from this imaginary line. Some golfers show deviation only in the hips rather than in both the head and hips. In either case, it should be corrected. The hip should be turning instead of swaying, and the head should remain fairly stationary to maintain a consistent swing path. Sometimes the distance of the elbow from the body is emphasized, but probably the direction it is pointing is even more important in this phase of the swing. A change in the direction the elbow is pointing can cause a change in the club face position at contact. At the top of the swing, the right elbow should be pointing down. A slight bend in the left arm at the top of the swing is natural, but more than that is incorrect. Too much bend allows the club head to go too far beyond the parallel at the top of the swing. In addition to the bent left arm, the demonstrator has also failed to pivot. The golfer has better control and power if the left arm is kept fairly straight throughout the backswing. Notice the way this golfer straightens her back and knees on the backswing. This is extension. It raises the level of the swing and must be compensated for by dipping. After raising the swing, if the golfer doesn't dip, she tops the ball or swings over it. If she dips, she may hit too deeply. Either way, consistency is more easily accomplished by maintaining the natural bend at the knees and in the back. This error, though most noticeable at the top of the swing, begins before this. Early in the backswing, the right hand is too much in control and is pulling the left wrist into a weak position so that it looks like this at the top of the swing. This positioning usually results in a closed club face at impact. The humped wrist is difficult to see in a full swing view because of the necessary distance from camera to subject, but it is evident in a teaching situation as you view the actual beginner. The slice is one of the most common hit results of beginning women golfers and can be caused by any of several factors. This swing from outside to inside often results from beginners' attempts to correct a slice by swinging left. Actually, this swing is one of the causes of the slice and exaggerates the tendency instead of correcting it. The club head should be brought straight back along the line of flight on the backswing and forward on the downswing through this same line. This helps to ensure the proper ball spin. This error and the next two have to do with faulty weight transfer. Notice, the weight is shifted back on the backswing, but not forward on the downswing and follow-through. The golfer is not utilizing her total body weight and power in the forward swing. This error sometimes results from golfers' deliberate attempts to lift the ball, when actually the club face is designed for this purpose and the club head should do the work. Here the weight is not transferred in either the backswing or downswing. As a result, all the golfer's action and power must come from the arms and shoulders. This golfer shows a bent left arm in addition to the specific error demonstrated. By not using the body pivot, she has limited her power and the distance of her hit. This final error is that of a golfer who thinks she has mastered the problem of weight transfer. She is transferring her weight on both the backswing and downswing, but in the wrong direction. Notice the alternating flexed and extended knee positions that indicate the direction of her weight transfer. On the backswing and downswing, the knees should move alternately toward each other instead of forward and back. Here again for comparison is the correct swing. Pay particular attention to the total swing and try to feel the movements the golfer is making. The golf swing should be taught simply and as a whole. As a teacher, you should be aware of the components of efficient form and common deviations from it. But your students can be confused by too much analysis in the early learning stages. This foursome of beginning golfers seem to be enjoying themselves in spite of a few errors. Don't look for immediate perfection. Present the swing without too much detail. However, be aware of the possible errors and be positive and selective in your coaching hints. Find the one error that, if corrected, would help the student most to gain success and satisfaction, and build from there. Students can enjoy the game with the beginning skills you can teach, and a knowledge of the etiquette and safety rules necessary for course play. Help them to improve their skills and encourage them to play the game. Each of the following swings exhibits one or more of the errors previously shown. These swings have been included last and without narration, so they may be used as desired.